with new cannabis laws, there are new opportunities to make money.
Yeah, Campy Brown joins us with details on a new workshop that breaks it all down. Hey, Campy.
Good morning. So I don't know if this is going to surprise you guys or not, but I've never been in a store like this, and I definitely was not expecting it to look like this. And that happens for a lot of people who have never been in a place like this. So if you didn't know, we have a Sacramento Cannabis Industry Association here. The executive director is Robert. Now, Robert, there was some security getting in here. So first, let's explain that, because how does this work to even be able to come in here?
Right. So from a city and state regulatory perspective, there are certain elements that people need to, for safety and security, from a responsible operator perspective, want to check people in a secured lobby, get them into the store where they can shop. But this obviously looks like almost an Apple experience. You come in, this is supposed to be comfortable, this is supposed to be nice, new. This is a type of thing that a lot of people don't realize the cannabis industry offers for Sacramento now.
Now, there is an opportunity for people to make a lot of money with this. Now, something with this type of store, you need a lot of money to be able to get something like this started, but that's why we're doing this workshop tomorrow, which you have partnered with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and we'll explain that partnership in just a second. But what are some of the different avenues that people can make money through this industry?
So instead of being an entrepreneur and trying to open a store location like this, which, you know, from it's a capital intensive project, there are other avenues and opportunities to participate in the cannabis industry. That looks like employment, that looks like possibly delivery companies. There are different ways to come in and participate, and that's, you know, part of that information is what we're trying to do with the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, and I should tell you too that there's not just one but two forms of security that happen, because first they were checking people to see if they had the card, and then once they come in, then they're getting their ID and checking all of that. Now, Julian, you are with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Correct. Now, when I heard you guys were partnering with this, I said, what the heck? I don't understand. So why did you guys want to be able to put this workshop on in support of this industry?
Well, number one, you know, we represent small business, and all small business, not just Hispanic business. And we feel that the cannabis industry is California's next economic boon, right? And so we really feel strongly about making sure businesses have the tools, the network, and the information that they need to be successful cannabineurs here in the industry.
Now, what makes a lot of people nervous is they know that it's legal in the state, but it's not legal federally. Does that concern you guys at all?
No, not right now. I mean, state, from the medicinal point of view, and now recreational use is legal in the state of California. I think we'll see some changes, hopefully with this next Congress back in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so you think that federally, I mean, it's not going away, right? That's clear. And if you're going to be doing it, why not do it where you're making a profit and the state is making a profit, which is a place like this. And I was asking about these right here that you can see. These are going to eventually have iPads there so that people can do the shopping that way as well if they aren't familiar with the different, like, strands of cannabis. Do I sound knowledgeable in this? I've learned everything in the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, it is really crazy to be able to see some of this stuff, and a lot of, you know, the things that I was showing you that were refrigerated, a lot of those are CBD infused, which even takes away all of the things about people thinking of the side effects of like smoking cannabis, and so that is used for a lot of medicinal purposes and for a lot of people who are kind of like about cannabis, but the CBD has really amazing effects.
Okay,
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Campy. All right, fascinating. She did sound very knowledgeable.
She did. And then